Script, 2026, the year of testing? Pastor warns Christians to prepare. What if the comfort many believers feel right now is actually the calm before a spiritual storm? While the world is distracted by celebrity drama, social media outrage, and political division, some pastors believe something far more serious is approaching. Pastor G. Craig Lewis recently delivered a warning message to Christians. According to him, 2026 may become a crucial year of testing for the church. A year when faith will be challenged, belief will be exposed, and spiritual warfare will intensify. His message is simple but unsettling. Christians think they're comfortable, but in reality, they are already at war. Section 1, The Distraction Strategy, 0-30-145. Lewis begins by addressing what he sees as one of the biggest problems facing believers today: distraction. Instead of focusing on spiritual preparation, many Christians are absorbed in trending topics, celebrity scandals, and political drama. In his message, he specifically references figures like Sean "Diddy" Combs as examples of how easily attention is pulled toward entertainment and controversy. But Lewis argues that this constant distraction keeps believers from examining their own spiritual condition. The real question, he says, is not what is happening in the world, but rather, what is happening in your heart? Because according to his warning, the time of easy Christianity may be coming to an end. Section 2, The Digital Control System, 145-320. One of the most controversial parts of Lewis's message centers around digital identification systems. He warns that major technology companies are moving toward fully digitized IDs. For example, companies like Apple are already integrating driver's licenses and identification into digital wallets. To many people, this simply looks like convenience, but Lewis believes it could be laying the groundwork for something much larger. He connects this trend to the biblical warning found in the book of Revelation about a system where people cannot buy or sell without authorization. This concept is often referred to as the mark of the beast. Lewis is not claiming that digital IDs themselves are the mark, but he argues that they could represent the infrastructure for a future system capable of controlling commerce and access. In other words, the technology may already exist. The question is how it will eventually be used. Section 3, The Leaven of Herod, 325. Another major warning in the message concerns something Lewis calls the leaven of Herod. This phrase comes from the teachings of Jesus Christ, who warned his followers about corrupt influence spreading through spiritual communities. Lewis interprets this as a caution against mixing political ideology with faith. When churches become politically driven, he argues, they lose spiritual power. Instead of focusing on repentance, transformation, and spiritual warfare, believers begin fighting culture wars. According to Lewis, this shift weakens the church's true mission. The church was never meant to function primarily as a political force. It was meant to function as a spiritual one. And when those lines blur, the message of the gospel becomes diluted. Section 4, Escalating Spiritual Warfare, 5-7. Lewis also warns that the world is entering a period of intensified spiritual conflict. He describes it as the release of increasingly aggressive spiritual forces. According to him, this manifests through rising anger, division, betrayal, and offense between people. Conflicts escalate faster, relationships fracture more easily, and forgiveness becomes harder. In Lewis's view, these are not just social trends, they are signs of deeper spiritual warfare unfolding beneath the surface of everyday life. And this warfare, he believes, will only increase as time moves closer to 2026. For believers, the danger is not just external pressure. The greater danger is internal compromise. Section 5, Preparing the Heart, 7-9. So how does Lewis say believers should prepare? His answer is not political activism, it is personal purification. He urges Christians to examine their hearts and remove anything that gives spiritual darkness a foothold. That includes unforgiveness, hidden sin, toxic relationships, and unhealthy spiritual attachments, sometimes described as soul ties. According to Lewis, these unresolved issues leave doors open for spiritual influence, but forgiveness and repentance close those doors. In other words, preparation for the future is not about predicting events. It is about transforming the heart, because if testing does come, only genuine faith will survive it. Closing reflection. 1. Whether someone agrees with Lewis's warnings or not, his message raises a challenging question. Are believers truly prepared for hardship, or have comfort and distraction slowly replaced spiritual vigilance? Throughout history, periods of peace have often been followed by periods of testing, and many spiritual leaders believe the modern church may be approaching one of those moments. If that's true, then the real preparation may not involve stockpiling resources, but strengthening faith. Because if trials come, the question will not be what you knew about the world. The question will be what condition your heart was in when the testing began.